Hey guys, how you doing? Alright, let's do this thing. Alrighty. Hey, how you doing? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Trying to find a game here. There's 20. There we go. Alright. Let's see what he plays. Okay. He's probably gonna play that there. That's what they usually, yeah. I'll do the Slav defense. And then I'm gonna just develop there. See if I can't get a pin going here. Let's see if I can't double up. Let's see if I take the pawn on a4. Is there any tactics he can play. I don't think so. I don't see anything that he really could do. Not like that. I'm just gonna go up a whole pawn. Let's see what I got there. Get out of this pin. There we go. There's the move. Let's do one more and then we'll get started. He's gonna play here. Slav defense is fun. Oh, he doesn't. So he allows us to play the French. Cool. A type of French. There we go. Go for the Tarrasch. Let's see. I think I can get this pawn too. So I'm seeing if I can. Oh, sweet. This whole center's cleared out now, so I should be able to get my pieces. Now I got a pin there. My pieces developed. He might try there on A4, but I don't think that'll do him any good. I'm thinking maybe I took wrong. I maybe should have taken with the knight first and then did the bishop. I'm just gonna castle. I don't really much mind there. I can, yeah. So he's gonna play there. Okay. We'll just retreat my bishop back here. Keep a good eye there on that pawn. I'm not worried about retreating back. I want to keep my dark square bishop. That's my goal, is to hold my dark square bishop. If he's wasting tons of moves on knight maneuvers. He has pieces at home that aren't really even doing anything. So we have to, we first of all have to take there, then I can relocate my bishop on A7, which would be really nice. Let's take there. Probably should have picked that pawn up. That probably would have been a better idea. I should have done that. Drat. Well, he'll probably try to play there. If he does, I then can win a piece. So that'd be a well, I don't know if that wins a piece. Yeah. I don't mind getting rid of my dark square bishop. Oh, okay, so he wants to trade off there. That's fine with me. I don't really much mind there. He could take it. Yeah, just take the. I'm 2 pawns up. We have that there. So we first want to just lock down this point here. We don't want him going there anymore. Now I can bring my other rook over. Oops, I should have played there. Darn that. That would have been good. Because he trapped in. Oh, sweet. I now pick up a rook. Have to remember the Aikido principle. What do you leave behind? So now I'm going to pick up a rook here, which will put me ahead. Actually, a devastating ahead. I'll be like 4 pawns up in this line. I don't mind getting rid of my dark square bit. I mean light square bishop. It's not a really good bishop, anyways. And then I can actually take advantage of the d4 and e5 pawn pushes. Excuse me, d4 pawn. Oh, nice. Boom. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just gonna take there. There we go. Now let's see if we can't hack away at some see if we can infiltrate in there, or at least infiltrate to D3 and then maybe double up. That would be lovely. And let's check first, then I'll double up rooks. I really don't want to fracture my pawns. So what would I want to play here? I'm just going to play my rook up here, trade off rooks, and go into a basic 1 endgame. Just get the, let's just finish the rook off. Let's go bring the king in. There we go. It would have been really not nice to have checkmated with a queen. I dislike when that happens. So I'd rather just do on checkmate with a rook and king. Because the worst, I've had a player that was on here queen all their pawns, and then you know, then checkmate you and just check you. So that's the worst thing to do to a player. Just checkmate him with rook and king and move on. Or if you have to, queen 1 and then move on. But okay, let's go back. I mean, let's go to our game now. All right, our studies. That's what I mean. got the chess game on the brain there. That's funny. Okay, D4. Let's see. What did I? Did I? Good. Good. I thought I went a little too far there. We got it. I looked at last game. I was like, Good thing I flipped to the correct notes. Cause I'm like, I thought to myself, no, I put a whole line in wrong. No, but I didn't. So that makes me really happy. Okay, there. Remember, we're just doing as our author called it, the Conan attack with this here. You castle queenside, and then you go e4. That's what he actually called it. I thought that was kind of cute. Okay. He tried castling to defend the bishop, which is actually a dubious move. It's too obvious to castle into the zone of white's planned attack. So you wouldn't want to castle into a planned attack. But this may be black might plan taking here on the bishop takes, and then having the queen come in. I'll show you. There's a line that I worked on here. Bishop takes, queen takes. Remember, this transposes into something. He can't castle kingside now, so it's going to take him a long time to get queenside castled. That's basically the. Oh yeah, there's a this right here. It's going to be a problem. It's going to have to like go here, here, there, queen up or something like that, and then it castles. So you have like 5 moves to get the job done for the takedown. Knight, let's see, e5, not e5. Hold on, what did I miss here? Oh, e6. My bad. This actually kind of gives the king a flight square to run to. It's actually a sclam move. So it's a that's kind of the idea, is for the king to have a potential safety square, and I actually like that idea. So the rook there, that holds the infiltration in. So the rook's black's holding, and so now all of white's ideas have disappeared like smoke in the wind. And we're trying to kind of get the attack rolling again, get the turbines moving on the train or car or whatever thing, but we can't. Now we got a castle. And black's 3 moves from castling queenside, so we have to turn on the steam and get our engines going. He plays d6 to attack the knight, so there's the tempo on our knight. So we have to go back to d3, a6 to stop the knight from jumping in. And this also, when the king castles, it gives the king an ability after castle kingside to come over and then up to stay safe. So a6, f2, okay, f2. With our idea now is we want to hammer home e4. We want to, at all costs, we have to get the king side tore open fast, or the center, so that we can eyeball the king. Yeah, that's our idea. Oh no, it's getting almost, there we go. Yes, we're in. And if we take and he takes, we grab the knight. So he's almost castled. We can't let that happen. e4. Oops, my bad. That's us doing e4, not e5. Hold on, did I miss something here? Oh snap, I did. Oh drat. It wasn't F. I misread a note. Drat. Sorry about that, guys. hold on really quick. I'll get this put in right. Queen e7. I knew I missed something here. Okay, now we got it. Now castle queen side and d6. Now that's the tempo. Knight bd2, e4, and then castle king side. Okay. Hold on. Okay, I gotta make sure I got this because I have to. Okay, h4. Gotcha. Okay, we'll make this we'll promote this to the main line, and we'll get rid of that. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, now let's work through this, and we'll talk about it. See how White's trying to get an attack going, but he can't. It's just one move too late, and then it castles, and now Black's safe. This happened, and Black's has a flexible king. He's safe, and really there's nothing that he can do. I don't know how I got h6. Somehow I thought h4 was h6. That was weird. I think I skipped a thing in the notes, but I fixed it, so we got it now. So he played castles kingside, which you don't want to castle right into a mega attack. So we go h4, wham, because you know, when there's an attack, you can always, like Grandmaster Simon Williams says, throw in Harry, and you get usually some good results from victories. Harry's our favorite soldier in the kingside attack. He knows all the kingside jungle territories. He's done all the moves before, so we're relying on our little soldier Harry. So we take, king takes, and then we castle. There's something even better here than castles. Remember Harry? Wham! Harry's our guy he's willing to do whatever it takes to win for us. d5. Now we're getting ready for a fork. That gets an exclam. So does h. So 2 exclams right away, guys. That's pretty good. That holds there. Now we're bringing in g5. Now that's under fire with a take. So the Harry did it. Harry did his job. Also, we have an attack here because the pawns pin the knights on pre. So h6, attacking the queen. Queen h4. We're still keeping in contact with that and the knight. So he can't push. If he pushes here, we win the knight. So he can't push g6 or g5. He plays e6 to attack our knight, and then we just go right back. We're like, you know what? We're even okay if he takes here, because potentially we can come in with a mega attack. This it doesn't. He stops here. There's a large amount of compensation. So if you played here, you can now grab the knight, and so you're dominating the position because you have here, and then infiltration in with the rooks. But it actually stopped at this point. Yeah, Black's in a world of hurt. But White didn't see that and played a logical move. You know, castle queenside makes sense. You know, if you're if you're wanting to go for an attack, you usually safety your king, but you have to be on the lookout for some really powerful moves. And be okay with sacrifices. D5, wham. D5 is a really, it's a really good move because what it does is it shunts or stops the bishop from going to D5, and D5 is, this is like throwing a stick in the works of a machine. It goes and then it stops, and that's kind of what D5, I feel like D5 is that type of a thing, putting something in the works of the machine, and now it can't do what it wants to. The bishop wants to dominate the A8 to H1 diagonal. That was like, I can get it out, I can get it out. That's funny. Okay, black plays E5 here. There's E6 that could be played here. Then we play H5, exclam. Because remember, our king's safe. We don't have to really worry about our king, and our pawns are more advanced on for the king side attack. So if you think of castling opposite sides as, you know, Royal Rumble in wrestling, basically that's what it is. It's who can throw each other out of the ring. That's kind of what this is. It's that's how I think of it. It's like who's gonna send their you know, big guys after the king first. Once again, we offer H5 is a good compensation move. There's two lines here that we can go over. We'll go over the first one. E takes, then we take here on G to H, GH, and H6 check. King F7, Knight G5. Oh boy, here comes the pressure. We're bringing it. We're bringing the pressure, guys. It keeps black. Black continues to keep running. So he can run, but there's also don't get one thing that you can't do is take with the queen. This leads to a tremendous blunder. It's actually losing on the spot. It's met with knight to E5, and now we have the king. The one square that the king had for a flight square is now terminated, and black can resign now, because whatever he does, it's basically over. There's really no. He could try here, but the only sitch he accomplishes. Let me see. Let's see here. I think it's. What did I miss something? Let's see if he moves here. Oh, you check first. Okay, check. Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's it. I knew I missed something. So this is the move. G5 is the move that basically shuts all of black's whatever black had for life. Bye bye. See you later, alligator. So the more, you know, what I've seen many a time played is actually knight takes H5, and now you can play knight to B5. Remember, black's Achilles heel is C7 at this moment. So the knight has to relocate. Remember, a knight on the rim is usually a grim piece, and it truly is here. We take, D takes, and then queen to C3 check. We're totally crunching the king now. G8, and now we win another. We're winning another pawn. Knight takes, and then queen takes. Also gives white the upper hand. This gives white a big upper hand. It's equal in pawns and everything, but the knight's in a really bad sitch. We now have knight G5. We can even double up our rooks here and take the pawn. Our rook to D7. We could even take if need be and bring our knight in too. So, you know, there's a lot of attack to come. So E5. So he actually in this line thought about it and played the right move sequence. E4, wham. Then F takes. There's also another subline of F4 and then H5. Remember, Harry's the hero in this story. I always think of it as a story. Oh no, Frederick is coming down the board for black, and then you hear the story. Dun 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 dun. Don't worry, Your Majesty. I'm gonna take it for the army. I'm charging in, and Harry goes, I'll do it. And so he goes H5. It kind of reminds me of the hero. He's the hero in this story, Harry, the H pawn. The knight's like, but I have you I captured you now. Harry's like, that's not the goal. Now my knight brothers can come in, and this gets an exclam, by the way. The knights say, don't worry, Harry, your life is not in vain. And so the knight jumps right into B5 and goes, I have a weak point in the army. I now can you know, go charge right in. And so C7 is the weak point. A5 or A6, and then queen to C3 with a tremendous attack. This is a favorable way of regaining the pawn for white. He's got this tack here, he's got this tack here, he's got this tack there. He even has potential pawn push, and he could even play Geary up the board, maybe. So this is really good for white. So black took. The knight comes in, knight G5, C6, and then knight takes the pawn. So the threat is D6, a potential D6 push, so that we can kind of, you know, fracture this pawn chain and make it look kind of really awkward and unappealing. So he plays A6, not A6, C6. We take the pawn, he takes, and then queen, and we take queen E7, which is actually the best in that line for black. It doesn't get an exclam, but it's the best. You may think trying C takes D5 is actually a excuse me, a really good move. It's not. It's actually losing, because after knight to D6, queen E6, knight takes the bishop, so we're up a bishop now. D4, king B1, and we prophylactic move. We're not really worried about our knight, because we can even sacrifice it back if need be for an attack. So remember, don't get greedy with your pawns, or pieces, I mean. There we go. Harry's coming up the board again. The hero. Queen takes, and then we take. And black had regained the piece, but at the cost of getting fried on getting cooked, fried, and sent and barbecued on the grill. It's not worth that. It's not worth getting your piece back. Look at the king. It's wow, totally exposed. What's the queen doing offside? Whip, woohoo! It got the knight. Look at it. The king's getting totally annihilated over here, and the queen's saying, "Look, Your Majesty, I got a knight." But he's like, "But what about me? Oh, I didn't think of that." And then it's like, too late. Then Harry goes, I'll take it for the team, Your Majesty. And he did for us. Harry's winning the game and majority of the lines for our team. So we gotta commend and throw a heroic, party for Harry the H pawn for his honorable sacrifices in so many different lines. So rook f4, h takes, exclams. So Harry's like, I'm gonna do it again. I'm the hero in this storyline. Takes, and then wham, d6, queen f. Now Daryl is he's saying, don't worry, I'll hold the lines, my king. Yeah, go Harry, that's true. f3, c5, and then bishop. Now every piece for black is flooding right in. I call him D for Daryl, or you can name your pawns whatever. I have like Daryl, or that's the one I think about now. There's other names you can name that, like whatever you want to name your pawns. And this pawn, the D pawn, is really doing a stellar job. It's keeping the other black's D pawn restrained back at home, and that's how come the bishop can even get into the fight. Even though the bishop's going to take and win a pawn, is it truly worth it though? So you have to figure, is it worth dropping a knight in with like this? No. Black actually did play the correct move with taking, because g5 exclam is actually playable here. And then let me see here, rook takes, and then in comes the rook to the h file, and it's like Harry opened the floodgates for our pieces to come right on through. So you know what, we got to thank our D pawn, but we have to remember what Harry did for the team. Harry gave it all in this line for the team, so we can't forget our favorite super hero, Harry the H pawn. f6, rook takes. Now our rook pawn's just flowing in. Now we got a passer of all things. This is getting scary. The bishop's under fire by the rook. It's all because of what Harry did for the team. Harry gave his life for the team to come into to open up the H file. He cleared the path so that our troops can walk down cleanly. He's as they say, the one of the forgotten soldiers. But we won't forget our friend Harry. We will remember his heroic sacrifice for us. Queen to oops, not E, C. So rook F, checkmate, boom. And it's all because of what Harry did for us. He opened up the road for our cannons and our men to flow in, and our men then coordinated perfectly. The triumph call was for Harry, Harry the H pawn. We can do it. Bishop takes, e4, f takes. So black did play correctly, so we didn't get use Harry's clearance sacrifice. C, and then G3. This is not very good. It clears H6 for our for the king. Rook has to move. Now H6 is open. Remember what Harry did? Harry opened the floodgates, and Black's trying to seal up, you know, the valiant effort that Harry did for us. And all the soldiers are saying, nope, you're not gonna block the path Harry made for us. So G3 goes, I can remove the artillery for you, my liege. And he goes G3. The rook goes back, and it's like, oh look, I'm attacking the queen. The queen's like, yeah. In comes the queen. It's like, really? She's like, you could try to stop me, but I'm coming in. The path is clear, and the way is closed, as in with I think it's in Aragon when no, it's not Aragon, it's Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. I think that's the one, when he goes into the undead cave, and the undead king says, the way is closed. It was made by those who basically were died, something like that. I don't remember the whole story, you know, wordage, but it's something like that. It kind of, when I thought of that, I was like, I thought of that movie clip. So the queen retreats back. There's that. There's this is actually best. Use the file Harry opened for us. Yeah, then he goes, no, when he commanded him, the undead king, to you know, fulfill his oath. He says, no, nobody but the king of Gondor will, or not Gondor, king of Gondor will commands me. And he actually reached out and grabbed him, and he said that that line was broken. He says, no, it's been remade. And that was a cool part. I always think, it always gives me you know, that type of thing, goosebumps and stuff. Same thing what Jesus did, truly. That line has been remade. The Lion of the tribe of Judah. Okay, let's see. H, so check. King G7, and now we go H7. Check. King F6. And then Rook H to F. Yeah, he's in a world of hurt now. This is not fun, because there's no way to get out of losing the queen. This is taken, that's taken, that's taken. There's only one thing. If he takes here, he moves and the queen falls. So I thought that was a beautiful setup. That was just so beautiful. I gotta make sure I didn't go too far. Right here, so I have to cut this off right there. Perfect. And there is one potential move. Let's see here. G3, I mean G5 could be played. H7, though now the same type of setup's happening, but this time with the threat of mate to boot. So gotta love that. So E3 is played, King G7, and then we bring Rook F, RD to F1. And we now control here. This bishop controls, the queen's attacking. If he takes, you can actually take attacking the queen. When the queen moves, you now can bring the rook to the attack. The king has to go to the back rank at that point. And then we shuffle our queen right in, and it's like, it's all over at that point. There's really nothing he can do. Black decided to cash in his chips and go home for the night, and then set up another board, maybe for another game. And Black also learned what not to do and what to do. So we got to see what happens if Black played a dubious move with castle kingside. White will continue racking up points in the line until the Leningrad Dutch player figures out not to castle into the jaws of the kingside attack. So back here, when Black castles, many a player as White has won has taken a lot of points here, because it's just natural. People just naturally castle because they're like, I can't castle queenside, and so they get a little concerned, and they castle and they walk right into a tremendous attack. Alright, so let's go to our puzzles. One sec, I'll be right back. Alrighty. C takes B, okay. Hold on, let me get a drink of my peach tea. Yes, yummy peach tea. I like peach tea. Okay. So we have C takes B4. What to play, what to play. Trying to see if we push the C pawn down the board. What could he actually do here? I know he can check. Could he actually come back? If we push, he comes back. We push, he comes in front. Actually, he can't do that because the rook hangs. I'll give you guys a chance to look at this. I'll be right back. So put in the chat what you guys think the moves are, and we'll go over them. I'm thinking the same as well. I think that's the only way to win, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see anything else. Phew, excuse me. I'm glad you liked it. It's fun to go over those Grandmaster or just strong player games. You know what I mean? It's fun. I'm with you on that. I'm thinking C3. Ooh. Trying to see, is it worth sacrificing? Let's see, if we play here, he takes, we queen. And if he tries to get rid of the queen by playing there, we actually come back here and we checkmate him. Thinking pushing. I'm thinking C2, C2. D takes D takes C7, and then C1 equals equals C1 equals queen. That's kind of what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? Oops, hold on. I really don't see any flaw to that. He might try to retreat his... No, if he does that, we could actually queen. He takes, he pushes, we... No, we, You don't want to play king to h7, because then he has a check. You takes, he takes, then you queen, and now he'll actually queen, and he won't queen on the same file as yours. So you're gonna have to move over to h6. See, if we go h7, king h7, he'll go rook e7, e7 check, and then we have to play rook takes e7, and then he'll go d takes e7. So if we go h, if we go, yeah. So we have to play, it's kind of a forced king to h6 because that stays in contact with the rook, and there's no, that forces d takes c7. That forces d takes c7. Almost forced, because then what we can do is if he pushes at that point we can actually take it with our rook, or we can even just queen. Well, we probably would want to take it with the rook and then check. Maybe that would be a mistake. What do you guys think? I'm thinking king h6 is that's my vote. Or he may be able to play king f7, but I don't know. I don't know if king f7 is strong enough. It stays closer to this pawn, but I'm not sure. It's between these two moves. I'm kind of siding more with king to h6, but that's just me. Because that stays in contact with this rook, and it makes it very unattractive for the rook to move, because then we could take the rook. f7 allows for some potential checks, so we could try a perpetual checking idea. What do you guys think? I'll give you guys a chance to take a look at and see what you think about king h6. What do you think, Fox? What do you think, guys? Yep. Okay, let's give it a go. In this line, you want to actually don't take the rook. No take. Play c8. Sorry, c1 equals queen. Rook takes c1. Rook takes c1. And the reason for that is if he tries pushing, we get in behind his pawn. I want to see if after taking here, what does the computer want? I'm thinking that, but they might actually know if we do that. Yeah, we can't actually take. We can't take here because if we do, he can actually queen with check. So we can't allow that. He has to. They're saying there. Why there? The king up. Huh. Sneaky. Very sneaky there. I like that one. I'm thinking it has something to do with potentially rook takes e5. I think it has something to do with rook takes e5 because you're working with a pin at this point. Well, queen h3 is bad because, let me see here, I'm just trying to see if it is bad. Yeah, this right here. The knight. I was trying to figure out to see if it would actually work out, but I think, yeah. That does seem like a good move, but the only problem, can he actually block there though? And then what do we do? Then what do I do? What to do? What to do? Not loving that. No siree. Ooh, we have this here. Nice. We actually have... Oh, I see. Oh, sweet. Queen h3. I see it now. Queen h... Oops. Queen h3. Check. Yeah. Rook. Because he has to. Otherwise, it's a silly... we'll win the bishop. So he has to intercept with rook g2. And then we can actually, at this point, play knight g4. That's the idea. I like knight g4, and that threatens to pick up the rook. Here, knight g4. True. That is true. That is true. Very true. I agree with you on that. You can't dismiss a move without trying it. That is very true. Queen takes h. Or queen takes here. He takes. Rook d2. Queen c3. Trying to see if we can't get this to work. thinking that's the right start. Now we have the right start. Yeah, this is right. Now we have to calculate. Yeah, like exactly what you're saying. If knight g4, if bishop f4, no, g4, bishop f4. We do have rook takes f2. Rook takes f2 check, and king goes to e1 forced, king e1 is forced, and then queen takes g2. Don't know what I was thinking. Oops. Queen takes g2. There we go. Queen takes g2. Forgot to put the takes in among there. And I believe we'd be threatening a mating idea, a back rank mate, so. So what do you guys think? I'm trying to see if that knight g4 actually works. What's your guys' opinion on that? Because I'm trying to. I don't know, because he might be able to just move his king, and then, well, no, then we can just grab the bishop. So if we play knight g4, and then let's say new idea, king g1, then you can play knight takes h6, and you save the knight and won the bishop. I'm thinking that might be what he's going to play. Otherwise, he would lose a whole rook. And I don't know if the computer would want to go down that much casualties. Let's give it a go. There we go. We'll give that a plus. Hold on, let me stretch this just a little bit. Why isn't it? Won't allow me to give a positive thing. Maybe I gave too many. Oh, you want to go back and take a look? Okay, hold on. Okay. Bishop e3. Knight takes king g1. Knight takes check. King f1. And then that should be a checkmate, like what you're saying. You got even better. Even better. You found mate. Good job. Great work. You found mate. This line works out so well here. We have to add just, let's see, king of 8. We have to add, I think, queen to h. We have to add queen h1. Check. rook g1, and then queen takes g1 equals mate. You have it. You have it, Fox. Great job, guys. Great work. Good work. That was an excellent move. I remember what Economy says. I hope, is Economy here? No, he's not. Drat. Economy would say, take the material with bishop takes f6, which is actually a, I don't know if it's forced. Is it forced? Let's see. If we play bishop takes f6, let's see, bishop takes f6, d takes e5 doesn't work. Takes e5 doesn't work because of queen takes. Well, I'm not sure after that. We have two moves that we can do. Okay. Now we have to decide what to do here. We can't take because of the bishop protects the queen protects the bishop. I'm trying to see if maybe queen d4 check isn't the idea, and then after king h1 we play queen takes e5. Trying to see if that isn't an idea here. We come up, he comes over, and then we take the pawn. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I want to, because I may be missing something, and I don't want to. I may have missed something. I don't want to miss anything on this. We're doing so good. Oops, hold on. Oh, good. What do you think, Fox? What do you think, the hippo defense? Well, the only reason I'm a little concerned about bishop takes is that he has rook check with if bishop takes e5, rook to f1. Oops, I gotta put a check in there. Sorry, I forgot to put it. Hold on. It's not that I'm reposting it. I just forgot to add a check. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense why he would play that. So I'm just trying to see if I'm missing anything, because this is a really Black's king is really loose here, and I don't want to cause any weaknesses to the king. And I figured, why not get a check in? It can't hurt. Yeah, I know what you mean. You mean Queen D4 check. Is that right? And then we play Queen takes E5. I believe that's right. I'm thinking we have a potential. We might have rook to A7, that attacks the queen. Maybe rook A7 attacks the queen, and I'm not sure. Do we actually unwind enough with well, Queen H6. Don't we have bishop if rook A7, Queen H6 check? Don't we have bishop to G7? Oh. Oh yeah, that does yeah. So I guess we're forced to play queen takes E5 in that line, huh? I guess we're forced to play queen takes E5 then. Because then what that does, that holds the bishop in place for rook to potentially, huh? Yeah. Oh yeah. Drat, I should have seen that. Okay. Hey, learning lesson. We saw it, so that's a good sign. We need to stick with our ideas, though. I should have seen that it was protected. That was my bad there. Oh, you want to see why that's bad? I think it's because we can't do our rook takes. Oops. What am I doing? Let's retry that again. I don't want to have any oops, check. First do the check. Don't go too fast. Attacks there. What did I... Oh. Duh. Hold on, let me retry that again. I don't know what happened there. Just give me one more shot there. Oh, try it again. I'm moving. Gotta not move too fast. Don't move too fast. Cause I wanna do this just correctly. There we go. Okay. Well, if we take here, I believe he can actually. This is the only sitch, and then he can actually double attack. I believe in. Our king is very shaky. So we have to get some defense to the king, and the only way to get defense to the king is through the rook. Now we have a defender here to block, so that when it comes up and we take, the rook slides over. We now have a rook to come over, so all of our pieces are defending. We're up a whole bishop, so we should be Operation Go there. Okie dokie, let's get on to this. Let's see. We're not going to get a lot of points on this one, because when I find it, that when there's higher amount of players that have played this, it doesn't give you as many points as if it's only 800. If it was only 800, we'd get maybe like 12 points. It's a lot harder the lower the amount of times it's been played. Okay, knight. We looked at 95. Let's see. You want to look at. Oh, you want to look at. Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, king e8, he can't go to king e8. We can't go to king e8 because of oh, what's wrong? Oh, you want to see what's wrong with queen takes. I think he takes with the queen. That bishop's protected by the queen. Oh, you want to take a look at, okay, queen takes. The queen takes still. King h1, rook a. If he goes there, we actually pick up the queen in that line. Do you guys have any other lines you would like to look at? What am I missing here? King d4, king h1, right? Rook a7, rook f, right. Oh, is this what you're talking about here? Yeah. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. I gotcha. I see what you're saying. Okay, perfect. Let's see here. So queen takes f6. Did our opponent castle at all? Black castled, white did not. Okay. Take the material. Trying to see now, what do we got here? We'll do this one, and if you guys have any games you'd like to go over, we can go over those as well. The only thing I'm concerned about rook to b8 fox is this. He can actually play rook takes e7, and then when queen takes e7, he can play queen takes b8. So I'm not sure. Oops, with a check. My bad. Hold on. I have to recopy that. There. And when queen takes, That's the only thing I see, and I think we actually, no, we can't block, because if we blocked, because the line would go, if we went here, he goes there, check, takes, queen, check. If we intercept with our queen, the rook slides over, and I think we'd have to move our king up. The queen would then be able to come up, check, and if we try intercepting, he then can play a subtle takes. He can come back and takes and draw our king away, and then snap our queen off. Ooh, knight d7. Knight d7. Okay. Yeah, you could do that, but then he could actually take again. So if we tried here, oops, sorry, wrong colors. He could take, well, I don't think he would take at that point. I think he'd be equal material. I think he'd be happy with just equal material at that point. Maybe win a pawn or something. Excuse me. Huh. Let's see here. Maybe we could play rook to d8, full defense at that point. I'm thinking the knight move is correct, though. That does make sense. Trying to see, is there anything, because you always like what we talked about, you need to try every line out. That's the only line that I see that holds the rook and shuts the queen out of any sitch that we'd be walking into. Yeah, I like that. Do you guys have any games you'd like to go over? We could take a quick break from puzzles and go over a game if you guys have, or we can jump right back into puzzles if you'd like. Alright. Okay, we'll take a look. Ah, come on, don't lag on me now. Don't lag on me, you're doing so good. There we go. Let's put in here. Just gotta turn off the engine. Oh, it's the perk defense. Okay. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Yeah, you guys are doing great. Oops, I gotta do that there. Right there. Okay, so far it's pretty calm. Oh wow, he's trying to, oh, he's gonna go for a queenside castling potentially here. Good pick on the game, Play the Grub, because that's very similar to our London system, except the London system's bishop would be on f4 and the knight would be there. And also you have the idea of bishop to h6 later on with the queen help, so very similar. Yeah. h6, there we go. That's what we like right there. Yeah, we'll do this one next for with you, Fox, too, as well. Okay, yeah, because this is very similar flow. It's just our pieces aren't, the knight isn't here and the bishop isn't there. Or, I'm sorry, bishop isn't here and the knight isn't there. But very similar type of ideas. You're wanting to remove the defender of black's castling kingside, which makes f6 and h6 vulnerable. So then the bishop just comes out. So the ideas, openings may be different, but the flow of ideas are very similar in some of the opening games. So that's why if you know certain principles, it helps you with like the perk, with the London, the also the Dutch defense, the Leningrad Dutch defense, all those, and it helps you with understanding its basic patterns. So castles, there we go. And queen comes up. And now Gary takes a second, and I like this move, rook to king b1, because this safeties the king. There's going to be no infiltration points for the queen to a2. And this is a very flexible move. It also passes the move to black. So a6, Castle queenside. Knight b3. That was, yeah, I can't wait to see that. I like these type of games. Takes, rook takes, c5. Yeah, wow. Look at all the air around the king. Rook to d1. Yeah. g6, g3. And the knight comes in. If we can trade off this bishop, he's threatening right here, so. Now that's that. So he only has one move to go to. Alright, could intercept. There we go. He got a pawn because you can't take here, of course. There we go. Now you don't want to take here. Well, can he actually take there though? Oh, right there. We'll have to look at the forced mate. I set up a move like this before. That's pretty fun. Yeah, because if he takes here, you get checkmate, so he can't. You grab the knight. Wow. Grab there. If he takes here, wow. And then Topalov resigned. That makes sense. Let's see here. We'll get rid of this. Oh, sorry. Right there. Boom. That's the mate. I've wanted to put it in for you guys. Okay, we'll pull up another one and we'll do oh no, you have it brought up already, Fox. Cool. Let me get a drink and we'll get started right into it. Huh. I don't know what that means. Do you help my friend? Huh. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, so I don't know what that I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Okay. So, let's see. Let's see, Fabi. Oh, you're as black. Okay, so I'll turn this one and flip the board. So we're going to look at it as black. Yeah, perfect job. H3. Maybe. Okay. I think, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you never know if it's something important. You'll have to block him later after we do our game. I'll just ignore that and not worry about it because it's about chess. Remember, that's one thing in Aikido you learn. You don't let things get to you, and you keep focused on the task at hand. Okay. Knight c6. I like that. I like this move. So you played the perk too. So knight to f6. Nice. So my teacher always told me that if you're gonna, implant a knight there, you usually want to leave the e-pawn if you can. Then it doesn't provoke too many weaknesses around the king. Because you don't always want to rely on your dark square bishop to protect the king. So f3. Well, we can see for sure that white is trying to go for a dramatic space advantage grab. So a5 and nice. That counters his attack. So d5. Yikes. He's got a massive pawn chain. Drat. That's pretty intense right there. So D. So you could be preparing. No, you don't want to do that. Oh wow. So he did get in that move. But it's only on your knight at this point. Nice. That perk idea for white didn't turn out the way he thought it was. Castles, and then you have to move your king to h8. b5, or wow. Wow. He's trying to shut that down. a5. I remember seeing Wesley today. He played king to h8 with the idea of directing a rook here. So like if the black king did that, you can always play a rook to g8, and then you can dominate this file here. And if he plays here, then you have takes, and you now can take scope on that pawn. You always have this rook opening up. h5, yeah. Yeah, you have is this rook move is kind of interesting. I really like it because if you notice, the majority of white's pieces are like in a roadblock. They're blocked. This queen's these two pawns stop the knight from getting out, and the queen's got to get moving. I do not. I guess he has to do that. What was that all about? He should have played something maybe like this. And then tried to untangle his pieces, even if you get a taken. You might be able to get a rook here. Then you just double up the rooks. You potentially have a something similar to this, so it's really interesting. But what that move was not very good in my opinion. 1 second. Oops, hold on. Okay. Takes. King f1. F takes e4. Queen f2. Check. Nice coordination, Fox. I gotta say, that's really good. You're starting to take him down. D. Yeah. He's about to fall. Yeah. Takes. King d1. And then, oh, sweet. You gotta love that. Let's see, is there any other checkmating ideas? That's another mating idea. I don't think there's anything else besides those two mates that I see. Trying to see if there's anything else. Well, maybe there's that, and then if king takes. Yeah, it's based on that. Well, that's a tough one. What I usually do is, wow. Well, what I usually do in that setup is you have to kind of, when you get nervous, I get up and I walk around, and then I tell myself this, what Fabi said, that, and also Josh Wiskins, I'm trying to think about it, he says that you have to love the wins and you have to love the losses, because what happens is, I know that sounds weird, I was listening to him talk, and he says that chess, it's the also Gary talked about the black and white jungle. It's huge because you have to be okay with the result. You have to get over the fear of losing, and sometimes what'll happen is if you don't, you'll miss the best move. You got to be okay with that there's a potential that you could lose, and if you tell yourself, I'm okay with the result, whatever it is, I don't know what it is, but my brain always works more efficiently that way, and it kicks in and it goes, because it's almost like we have a guard that's guarding our thought, our focus, and if you can kind of tell that guard thing that constantly tells you you can't do it, the voice that says you can't do it, you're not prepared, if you can kind of trick that voice kind of and say everything's okay, you are prepared, you did this, you did that, and you show that you're prepared, and that yes, it's high stakes, but you kind of play it that, you know what, it's like playing on the internet. I feel more comfortable with it. Yes, it's high risk, but in the end, you always learn something, and that's the one thing that it helped me. I really don't know how to explain it. Something kind of personal that a person has to find. It's that peace within the storm. Gandalf said it in Lord of the Rings. He told Pippin, "Do you hear that?" And Pippin said, "What?" It's the silence before the storm, and you have to be okay with that storm that's coming. You have to be. That's one thing that I've learned. Exactly, I agree with you on that. You have to. That's one thing you have to get something that you're used to. If you're used to a certain opening, don't try something new, unless that's that. I agree with you, Fox, on that. And I know you guys can do it. You guys have studied. I know you can do it. I know you guys got what it takes. You guys totally crush the puzzles. So I believe that you're going to do great. And you just got to have confidence going in there that you can do it. And always remember, I know this is from a cartoon, Luna Batuna. She says, one thing you have to do, sometimes close your eyes, stop, breathe, and believe that you can do it. It's kind of, you have to almost say, I can do this, I can do this, like the little engine that could, when she was going up that hill, she had, rather than saying, I think I can, the little engine said, I know I can. And that's kind of what a player has to say. I know I can do this. I know I can do this. Yeah. I hope that helps you, because one time I was down not a piece but an exchange, and I had to kind of tell myself, you know what, I may be down a rook, but I have a knight, so if I go to an end game where I'm proficient in, I can either draw or win. And it was a pretty high rated, and I was able to pull a draw out, even though I moved too fast one time. So some advice is take your time. That's one thing that I've learned from puzzles and longer games. Take your time. Don't rush. If your opponent, my teacher taught me, blitzes out the games, the moves, good for them, but use your time for the best. And I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Do you guys have any questions on this game before I log off? Keep it up. I know you can do it. Do you guys have any do you have any question, Fox, on where you want to talk? On this a game here, do you have any areas you want to look at? I remember, it was the interesting thing is with my teacher, the couple days or a day or so before the tournament, we would actually talk about the psychology of chess. And I asked, why do we do that? Because my teacher told me that chess, even though it's a game of the mind, it also is the psychology of the mind. It's how you go into the game, the board, when you're playing. Do you come in with confidence that you can do it, or do you come in with fear that if you do something wrong, something bad's going to happen? And we would talk about that, and that really helped me too. Hey Voss, do you have any lines you want to go over on here? Or do you guys see any lines? Here's the game. We'll check this out real quick, and then we'll do this game here. Then we'll log off. Then I can log off, and because this is fun. All right, here we go. Played as white. Perfect. Whoa. Oh wow. Blumfield's counter gambit, huh? Okay. So far, so good. Yeah, the Indian game's pretty fun. Oh, you did the counter gambit, okay. Haven't done research on that one before. That I'll have to check that one out. That's an interesting thing. 1 second. I want to check that out. Just give me a second, guys. Hold on. I haven't heard of that one before. So hold on. Just let me write this down. And then we'll. This looks interesting. Got it. Okay. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, we'll continue onward. That's an interesting thing I should look into and see. Nice. You're doing a kind of a London setup. Yeah, I've seen the Banco Gambit before. Josh Waitzkin's really liked when he was young playing the Banco. It's kind of more of a furious fighter's attack. You go down 1 or 2 pawns, but you get massive counterplay. Bishop to d3, bishop g4. Oh, nice. Okay, you're in a closed position. I actually prefer your setup. You have more space, so you're pressuring black. I like white here. Castles, okay. Check. He moves. Thinking something maybe potentially with doubling up rooks might be an interesting idea. And then if he plays there, I kind of like this type of setup. You're kind of putting some pressure on your opponent. And if he tries something like that, you always have a retreat square. That's why you don't want to push f4 right away. You kind of want to wait. You want to provoke weaknesses. And if the queen retreats, you always have the potential for, let me see here, I'm trying to think what would be a good move here. Boy. Maybe at this point, and then you could play, I'm missing something here. Well, I guess we could actually play up there at that point, then maybe trade off or reroute our other rook in. Interesting, to say the least, for sure. Let's see. I'm liking the potential infiltration with knight to a4. It also allows your rook to come into the party as well. So if the king comes up, this rook surprisingly isn't in a bad spot. Yikes. I like this. I like this move here. He might try something like that. But then you can now hammer home this attack, and if he plays over here, you have 2 flank attacks going. So at that point, do we like, because he could take there, and then we can actually take at that point. If he takes here, now we go for the pound. He can't play there because of check. His check's covered. I guess he could play there. And he takes. Now he takes. I don't know if that's good at that point. You have to always take in consideration, is there any points of entry that you can put a knight in that it's like an outpost? That's an outpost. There's an outpost. That isn't an outpost yet, but potentially could be. So yeah, I like that move. That's a pretty strong move as well. Queen takes. Kind of liking G6. Or G3. He has to retreat back there. And do we have an attack? Do we have enough for an attack here? Because this pawn move supports the queen's attack, so we may be able to play that and then take scope, so he'd probably have to push his pawn. And then now we have rook. And if he tries there, we can actually double up rooks. But he could play there. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, you don't want to walk into a fork. That wouldn't be fun. So you'd probably have to play to guard that. I like this position because that's hanging. This queen's offset, and we can then actually reroute our queen. Yeah, I like that. I like this move there. So that was a good move. Good move. Rook takes. Nice work. I'm thinking of this. I'm thinking of queen, because even if he takes there, you just move, and now you're threatening mate. So maybe he could play there. Yeah. So that did not come to fruition the way I liked. Okay. So retract that. I was just trying to see if there was any way. Now you have that. This is nice. And going in there. Boy, this is a tough. This is a tough one here. Wow, nice. Nice. That was crushing. Surprised he did that. Surprised he didn't that he didn't kind of like double up there or triple up or something like that. You could just retreat down there and attack the queen. I kind of like that move. That protects your knight. Yeah, a good move though. Good job. Well played. Yeah. Good work. So that was a great that was a great game. So, do you guys have any like do you wanna? Is there any area you wanna talk about this? Play the grub in this movie sequence. Do you have any questions? Yeah. I haven't studied that India as much as I should, so I'm still in the process of getting better in my opening. So we'll have to, if you bring in like another game later on, maybe tomorrow or so, I'll have to look into that and see. So the older Indian setup, because I'm always willing to learn new things. Okay. Okay, if everybody's good, all right. So you're all good? Perfect. Okay. Thank you all for logging on. Thank you, Fox and Play the Grub, for the games. We're learning a bunch. You know what? I know you guys are doing great, and I know that you'll do good in your tournaments, because you guys are doing excellent with tactics and focus, and you know what? It basically that's how you have to do it, and not fear. There's no fear. If you know where you're going, play the moves, and if you don't know kind of a plan, if you don't have a plan, make a plan based on your opponent's move. What move are they no longer guarding, and you can set up maybe just an attack, a piece on pre. There's a lot of ways, and sometimes, like my teacher taught me, was if you don't know what to do, develop a piece to a better square. That can never hurt, he said. Just if your knight's offside, put it to a better square. That'll pass the move to your opponent, and then they'll have to move, and then maybe you can make a plan around their move sequence and find the small little loophole in their armor of their defense. Well, I know that, you know what, I know, like what Bruce Lee said is true. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. So we got to apply what we learned, and willing is not enough, we must do, and we got to do. So we have to apply and do, and know and apply, and will and do. And of course, with practice, we'll teach our fingers to fight and our hands to war and our fingers to fight. That's what we'll with proper training, you can do it. And remember that you have to be the one to push the plan. If you have a plan, he says don't stray from the plan as long as it's not losing. That's what my teacher said. But if it's losing, change the plan. So I'll see if you guys have anything wrote in there. Nope. Okay. So remember that. And there's one more game tomorrow. This is the game. If everybody draws, Fabi will win the tournament, and he'll be able to go to London. So this is a huge game for Fabi tomorrow. So all Fabi fans out there, if you want to see a critical game, tomorrow's the game to watch, or the round to watch. Okay, guys. Also keep Hawaii in your prayers and thoughts. They had a tremendous amount of rain dropped on them, and thanks be to the Lord that the storm turned, so it didn't drop the amount that they thought it was going to be put on them. So we'll leave you guys with that, and remember, we're the ones that sit down, hang up our coats, hang up our hat, and sit down and do the thing that most cannot. We will do. Okay, guys, we'll leave it with that. As Wesley So says, through the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed afternoon and evening, and keep doing good, guys. And Lord willing, I'll be back with you. We'll go over puzzles, tactics, and games, and we'll just keep learning. That's the whole thing. Helping each other. And there's no I in team, there's we. Okay, guys, be blessed, and I'll be on tomorrow, and we'll have some fun, okay? So keep up the good work. Congrats. Bye-bye, guys.